I like that he became governor as an independent. I don't
Minnesota.
know. Maybe it's true, but I just think independents are less corruptible, probably better motives. Maybe I'm just projecting good things onto him.
How long was
You
he
would think
governor?
more people be going after you with like bribes and such if you are independent, though, right? Like both sides now feel like they can come at you on this and that and the other. Whereas if you're hard right, nobody's, the LGBTQ people aren't coming to you like, hey, maybe you could do this, that, and the other. They don't even bother with you. But if you're independent, both sides are trying to come after you. Like Fetterman, you've been following Fetterman?
What's he up to?
A little bit.
Let me catch the world up on John Fetterman real quick. So like, he's a senator from the Northeast,
Pennsylvania.
Thanks. And he's that big, fat, bald guy who never wears suits, and they sort of give him guff about that. And he had this traumatic stroke, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bad stroke, and then he was also hospitalized for clinical depression, sort of back to back. He won his election, and while winning his election, the right was going after him hard because he's a Democrat, going after him hard because they're like, you're going to let this guy who's diminished, he's got brain damage, he's going to serve this guy who's had this stroke, and like he has to use this iPad interface to talk to people. Like what are you doing? Well, the stroke made him a conservative. Brain damage turned John Fetterman into a conservative, and there's no other way to look at it than that, because that's what he is now.
Doesn't he still vote left on every meaningful thing?
No. And his aides are crying in the news because they're so embarrassed and ashamed and sad for what he's become. He's in meetings like sort of like, why is everyone mad at me? Why is everyone mad at me? What did I do now? Why are you always mad at me? And like he
seems like a guy who probably shouldn't be in the public light.
But what's interesting is now the right with him. Hey, leave this guy alone. Leave John Fetterman alone. The right, Fox News, everybody got his back now. Complete 180. And now it's the left who's coming after him. Like, hey, this guy's had a stroke. We can't let him be in office. He's got brain damage.
There's some other stuff that like his staffers are afraid to drive with him because he's erratic and untrustworthy.
Wait, when he's driving?
Yeah, when he's driving, apparently he's unsafe. He's just not the guy that he was pre-election, pre-stroke. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
That seems fair. If he's fucking geeked out all the time and he's not making sense and you're his staffer, I'm taking an Uber behind him. Like I don't want him driving. You don't know when he's going to stroke out again and some other shit's going to happen.
Clear that traffic out for us.
Because I've seen enough interviews of him where they're like, Mr. Fetterman, what do you think about the intervention and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, complicated things, complicated, difficult. You know, the thing about Pennsylvania is it's complicated. And it's like he just gets in a loop where he just says the same nonsense over and over. And it's like, what the fuck? Well, we're just electing Nero's horse now. Like, so let's cut it out. That was Woody. That's a historical reference. So Nero was a corrupt emperor in Rome, and he was so corrupt and he was so disliked and so tyrannical that he made his horse a senator of Rome.
Okay.
And no one was chill with it, but everyone had to be like, I'm not, did you hear what happened to Clavicus? Yeah, well, you can go ask his head and his arms and legs if you want to take a long road trip around the corners of the empire. And it's like, no one wanted to push back on it. Just a no-close moment.
So he shifted on a lot of things. It looks like he shifted on immigration. He was a co-sponsor of the Lake and Riley Act. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's a shift for him. He became much more hardline on Israel and Gaza, not being in support of a ceasefire. He opposes ceasefire. He wants Hamas to be neutralized first. Looks like he shifted himself from the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. That's just okay. Criminal justice reform. He previously championed criminal justice reform. His stance on issues like cash bail has drawn criticism. Yeah, he changed on a lot of things: economic policy, healthcare. A few things that he was advocating for, and now he's sort of on the opposite end of that spectrum. I think the left should be running with brain damage causes conservatism. That should be what they should use here.
I disagree.
I don't think they'll do that.
So on the left, it's sometimes fun to say stuff like that, and you've got Fetterman making it possible. But if you're on the left and you're a strategist, you want your door opened. You don't want to insult MAGA guys because that's not going to bring them onto your team. You're not just trying to like dog them. You're trying to convert them. So
who's
Brady
that Democrat strategist who's really old?
James Carville.
The Raging
James
Cajun?
Carville. Yeah.
I'm like Kyle with movies.
You are like James Carville. I've seen interviews with him where he's like, they're like, James, what do we do to bring the Democrats back to winning? He's like, for the fucking 20th in a row, you got to drop a lot of this lunacy woke nonsense, and you got to stop how much you're like overtly hating white people, like really overtly hating men and white people. Believe it or not, guys, this is a losing strategy. And they're like, but James, we do hate white people and men. And they're like, all right, well then at least fucking hide it a little better. My God. And
there's more Democrats saying that. David Hogue, the Parkland shooter guy, is like, we have got to drop the anti-men plank in this party. This whole bear shit, it's like the 100, would you rather see a man or a bear in the woods thing? Like he has a whole list. And David, is it Hogue or Pogue?
I thought it was Hogg.
Maybe it's Hogue. I'm sorry, I read too much now. When you learn by read, you mispronounce everything. But anyway, yeah, he's more pro.
Definitely names.
He's trying to get the Democratic Party to stop. Like,
and they booted his
declaring
ass.
People as bad. They are in the process of booting his ass. Yeah, so it is hard to find details about this, but he was voted. Him and another guy, a black man, Malcolm Kenya something. It was something close to that. Anyway, they won the election. But apparently there were supposed to be 2 elections, one for men and one for women. But they held a joint election and 2 men won. So first they like appealed it or something, and the Democrats, there was a tie. It didn't go anywhere. And now this next time they decided to redo the vote. And this is the whole thing that people like me detest about the Democratic Party, that is just like this equality of outcome. Fuck you. Right. And I don't know who votes for the chair of the DNC. There's 2 vice chairs.
Hillary Clinton.
But pretending that this was a broader issue, the voters picked these 2. Don't have a special race for boys and a special race for girls so that we can guarantee this, I think. So
seems like very gendered to me. I don't care for it. Like, are we going to have a race for trans people as well? Because I wouldn't like that. That would otherize them.
Yeah.
What about my non-binary representatives? Don't they get any say in this?
If hypothetically every member of the House of Rep was a woman,
fucking liberal bigots, I
wouldn't say we need to get rid of half the women in here and make it equal. I'd say vote for a man if you want a man. Somehow the voters decided that women were the best at this job, or flip it. If everyone in there was a man, I'd be like, well, then get a woman who can beat a man in an election, and then you'll get some women in there. I don't like the idea of this job is just for women.
I don't like the so many. There's only one American UFC champion. I hate it. But I'm not saying, hey, we need different representation here. We got to change this. We need a different outcome, whatever it takes. So let's make let's have a tournament where there's 19 Americans and 1 Dagestani. Dagestani probably still wins, but it's just like, no, that's what happens. The cream has risen to the top. Either drink it or find a new sport. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit. I hate the going for a certain outcome. I hate equity. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Get the fuck out of here with that racist bullshit.
Right.
No, and here we've got a perfect example now with the South African refugees being brought in, the Afrikaans who are having their land stolen from them by their government.